Hi, my name is Graciela.
Namir. Joseph.
Tosia Kissy.
Tania Donato.
Anna Quinlan.
Lamar Patel.
Vincent.
Streeter.
Jason.
Gabby Crooks. Zafnan.
Jillian.
Elisa Savas.
Carolina.
Aline Perez.
David Liho.
Greer Harris.
Emily.
And I'm
And I'm
a Stanford Admit.
My piece of advice for future applicants would be to be authentic. I know I was really scared to apply and submit my application because I felt like I wasn't showing off enough. On the other hand, all of my responses were really true to myself and they were really authentic, and I enjoyed writing all of them.
Follow your gut, and then obviously be yourself in your application. You don't want to come off as someone that you aren't, because then let's say they do admit you for the person that you aren't, and you do go to the school, you won't be happy there because they accept like the people that they think they're accepting, they think will create a great environment together. And if they're like not if they accept someone that you aren't, then like that could cause conflict with you, and it could cause conflict within like the society that Stanford has thought they were accepting, but like it doesn't mix well because admissions officers know what they're doing. Trust me.
So one piece of advice I would have is to think about a theme that represents you, and make sure every single thing that you present, every single extracurricular that you put, every single essay that you write goes toward that theme. So make sure you strategize with your application and really present yourself, package yourself into one idea.
My one piece of advice that I would give to a future Stanford student: enjoy your senior year. Everyone says it, but take the time to, I don't know, have a dance party, binge watch Grey's Anatomy and Criminal Minds. I mean, I'm speaking from my own perspective, but just do what you love. Go hang out with your friends, go to the movies, just kind of do things that you can use as memories for your memory wall in your dorm. I don't know, do something besides just focus on your college apps. You don't want to look back on your senior year and just be like, okay, I spent most of my time getting my college applications together. You want to be able to tell stories that are more interesting than that. So that's my advice.
The one piece of advice that I will give to future applicants is try to be yourself in your essays. Do not try to impress anyone by your achievement. Just tell them who you are, who you really are.
My best piece of advice for future Stanford applicants is this. You're applying to Stanford, the admissions committee and the admissions officers know you're smart. So when you're writing your essays, don't bother trying to sound smart or talking about your achievement or all this and all that. You just be yourself and let your personality come through, because that's the only way you're going to stand out against the sea of amazing students, Everyone who's applying to Stanford, 90% of the kids who are applying to Stanford can academically handle the course load at Stanford. It's obviously it's a hard school, but the people who are applying by and large are equally qualified or very similarly qualified. So the only way you can set yourself apart and be one of the lucky 1 in 20 kids who get in or something like that is by just being yourself. So be funny, cover all sorts of different topics in your essays. Don't be redundant. And put a ton of effort into your essays. I think I spent a month on mine. So yeah, that's it. You just have to be yourself and don't try to be something that you're not.
don't stress out. Everything will be fine. I think I came from a school where I wasn't really thinking about college for most of high school. I know that varies from school to school or region to region, but my school was not hyper focused on college, and I still got in. So you don't need to be stressed out all the time in order to get into the college you really want to get into.
Be yourself. Be honest in your applications. If you were like me and thought that numerically you might not have been as strong or might not have scored as high as other applicants, find ways to shine in other aspects of your application. So I worked really, really hard on my essays to show every part of me that I wanted the admissions officers to know. They want to know what is unique about you. We all have something that sets us apart from the crowd. And these essays are really a place for you to showcase that. It's really about What will you bring to Stanford?
So one piece of advice that I have for Stanford applicants is that, first of all, you have to realize that your story is good and everything about you is valid. It's just about how you can frame that and how you can tell your story in a really compelling way that gets admissions officers to think like, we have to have this person, which is something that I try to do a lot in my essays. So I would tell them like, just like authenticity and like show them who I am, which sounds so stupid and which is what probably everyone says, but it's so true. Like, you have to be authentic and you have to accurately depict who you are through 650 words or 250 words or 50 words or something like that.
Don't worry so much if your test scores aren't perfect or if your grades aren't where you want them to be. Focus more on what you genuinely love, on your passion, and show that passion through your essays and through your extracurriculars.
1, don't worry about stuff that you can't change. So like, don't worry about your grades, don't worry about the awards you've gotten throughout the years. That's something I worried about. Like, oh, my awards aren't good looking enough. Like, who cares? Like, there's nothing you can do to change stuff that happened from freshman year through junior year. That's gone, that's in the past. So just let it happen. And this is not so much as advice as it is to just know that you're going to end up where you're supposed to end up. My first choice was Georgetown, but I got waitlisted, early action. And I got deferred and then waitlisted. And then I got into Stanford, so I took my place off the wait list. But you know what? You're gonna end up where you're supposed to end up. And that's it.
To all the future applicants, don't fret. 1B is not gonna kill you. It didn't kill me. And don't be afraid if you didn't start your essays until a little later than some others. Like, I didn't start any of my essays, including the Common App, until October, and I made it, so hey.
The advice for future Stanford admits, I would say, go for it. You never know what's going to happen. I've applied twice. I can tell you, rejection sucks, but you only lose out when you don't apply. The other piece of advice I would say is that market yourself as having a spike so that you're memorable. So like 90% of my application was just about environmental science. Most of my essays were about environmental science, and then more than half of my extracurriculars were about environmental science.
So my best advice for prospective Stanford applicants is to be yourself and apply early. Applying restrictive early action was definitely one of the best decisions that I've made, and I'm really happy that I am able to sit here and say that I've been accepted to Stanford University, especially because it's been my dream school for so long. So I think that if you're feeling just as passionate about Stanford, definitely apply early. I don't know how much of an advantage it gives you, but it definitely can soothe you with the decision that you receive in December and can dictate what happens for you in the ensuing weeks. So yeah, you're also very smart in watching videos such as these with YouTubers such as Jose, who are definitely working towards making the application process more transparent, and I think that it's a great step that you're taking to be watching YouTubers such as these, because I spent hundreds of hours on YouTube just watching college videos. So you're definitely taking the right steps.
My one big piece of advice would be like, be yourself. I think colleges highly value authenticity in a student, because there's like 40,000 applications that Stanford receives every year, and half of those are just like I think just be yourself, and that would be the best thing that you can present on your application, because all your 4 years of high school, whatever you did, you can't change that. Once you get to your applications, all you can do is just present yourself in the best light as you can, and that's just to be yourself.